Good morning. Today's coffee mug is from the Kimball Art Museum right here in Fort Worth. I'm a member at the Kimball. It doesn't actually come with the lipstick on it. I put that on there like this. But let's get on with this day in history for October 2nd. What year is this? 2019. I started to say 1945. I probably have some historical thing to tell you that happened in 1945, so let's find out what it is. In 1835, on October the 2nd, the growing tensions between Mexico and Texas erupted into violence when Mexican soldiers attempted to disarm the people of Gonzales, sparking the Texas War for Independence. You know them Texans, pretty independent. In 1847, German Field Marshal during World War I and President of the Weimar Republic from 1925 to 1934, Paul von Hindenburg was born on this day in Posen, Duchy of Posen, Prussia. In 1869, the political leader of India, pioneer of nonviolent activism, Indian independence activist and spiritual leader Mahatma Ghandi was born on this day in British India. In 1890, American comedian Julius Henry Groucho Marx was born in New York City, New York on this day. He was one of the 5 Marx brothers, the others being Chico, Harpo, Zeppo, and Gummo. In 1900, William A. Bud Abbot, comedian and the straight man to Lou Costello, was born. You might remember Abbott and Costello from their Who's on First skit. Pretty funny stuff. In 1919, President Woodrow Wilson, who had just cut short a tour of the country to promote the formation of the League of Nations, suffered a stroke on this day in 1919. In 1941, the German army launched Operation Typhoon, the drive towards Moscow. In 1944, the Warsaw Uprising ended on October 2nd with the surrender of the surviving Polish rebels to German forces. And here you go. Here's the 1945 piece. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, best known for American Pie, his tribute to Buddy Holly and early rock and roll, Don McLean was born on this day in 1945. The comic strip Peanuts by Charles M. Schulz made its first appearance in 9 newspapers across the U.S. on this date in 1950. 1951, singer, songwriter, musician, actor Gordon Sumner, more commonly known as Sting, was born in Wallsend, Northumberland, England, on this date in 1951. Sting played in the band Police before launching a successful solo career. On this day in 1958, Guinea declared its independence from France, and in 1959 on this day, the groundbreaking TV series The Twilight Zone, hosted by Rod Serling, premiered on CBS. In 1961, the TV show Ben Casey premiered on NBC TV. And some of these items I put links in the description to a video clip or an article about them. The thing I remembered about Ben Casey, my dad was in medical school about that time, so it's pretty significant to me. In 1967, Solicitor General, the head of legal staff of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, and a leading American civil rights lawyer, Thurgood Marshall, was sworn in as the first African-American Supreme Court Justice. 1968, French-American painter, sculptor, chess player, and writer Marcel Duchamp died on this day in 1968. His work is associated with Cubism, Dada, and conceptual art. On this day in 1974, Hank Aaron got his 733rd career home run on his last National League at-bat. 1983, on this day, Carl Yastrzemski's last at-bat. In 1985, American actor and Hollywood icon Rock Hudson became the first major U.S. celebrity to die of complications from AIDS. Hudson's death raised public awareness of the epidemic, which until that time had been ignored by many in the mainstream as a gay plague. He was 59. In 2006, on this day, a gunman killed 5 students at an Amish school. Charles Roberts entered the West Nickel Mines Amish School in Nickel Mines, Pennsylvania, where he fatally shot 5 female students and wounded 5 more before turning the gun on himself and committing suicide. Turns out Roberts was a deeply disturbed individual with criminal and mental health issues that he couldn't deal with. He'd never been caught or prosecuted for any crimes, though. A father of 3, Roberts had no criminal history or record of mental illness, and his family had previously known nothing about the confessions he made to his wife on the phone shortly before he committed suicide. The Amish community, known for their religious devotion as well as wearing traditional clothing and shunning certain modern conveniences, consoled Roberts' wife in the wake of the tragedy. Some members even attended his funeral. 10 days after the shootings, the Amish tore down the schoolhouse and eventually built a new one nearby. That seems like a good plan. 2013, best-selling American author Tom Clancy died at the age of 66. The author's debut book, The Hunt for Red October, has been cited as one of the greatest genre novels ever written. And that looks like about it for today. That's going to wrap it up for us today on this day in history for October 2nd. Thanks for watching. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes, along with a physical address in case you'd like to send along a coffee mug. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And feel free to share if you found this interesting or learned anything. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. See, we'll go back to the beginning. So I keep my document right there on the screen. Nicer looking than shuffling through papers. Someone's at the door, probably the mailman.